Once again, very good morning to all of you, my dear children. So what I am planning to do is, we are planning to upload 3 videos, part 1, part 2 and part 3 for each chapter of class 10. Okay, so within these 21 days, already we have uploaded 2 videos, chemical reactions and equations part 1 and 2. Okay, so I request all the students to please kindly utilize the opportunity of these classes and please learn the concepts carefully, and I request all the students to write and practice. Okay, so today in today's video we are going to learn certain objectives which we will come across from the lesson chemical reactions and equations. Okay, so we will do certain objective part, third part of this video, chemical reactions and equations part 3, chemical reactions and equations. Okay, so in this part 3, totally all about objective questions I am going to focus. Okay, so I will write and give you certain way of questionings. Okay, you please try to follow the questionings and 4 options which are given to you. Sometimes I may write the options and sometimes based on the time I may not write the options also. Okay, please check, but I request all of you to write and practice. Okay, make notes, make a short notes of what all your teacher says. Okay, and then write and practice. Okay, by writing you can memorize the concepts very well, right? So let us go for the first question. Can you recognize the formula for lead sulfate? Formula for, what is the formula for lead sulfate? Lead sulfate, what is the formula? Lead is Pb, sulfate is SO4. Okay, isn't it? Both are bivalent ions only. Formula for lead sulfate will be dash. Means what you will write? Here options are given as Pb2SO4, option B PbSO4, option C PbSO4 taken twice, and option D PbSO4 taken thrice. Okay, so answer is B, PbSO4. Lead sulfate formula is what? PbSO4. Okay, so next question once you go through, which information is not conveyed by a balanced equation? Which information is not conveyed? Okay, now which information is not conveyed by balanced equation? Okay, if you take a balanced equation, what information generally does it convey? It tells you about the number of moles of reactants and products. Okay, here options are given like this. Once you check, number of moles of reactants and products, as just I told you, it gives information about number of moles. Here question asked is not conveyed. Okay, number of moles of reactants and products, that is given by, that information is given by a balanced equation. So this is not the correct option. Option B, what is given? Once check. Symbols and formulas. Option C, number of atoms and molecules. Okay, option B, symbols and formulas it will give. Okay, it will convey about symbols and formulas. That is also correct only, no? It is a symbolic representation of a chemical change, isn't it? So it gives information about symbols and formulas. And option C, atoms and molecules. Okay, yes, it is also giving information about atoms and molecules, also correct only. Okay, this is also correct statement only. Okay, but what is the wrong statement? What information is not conveyed by balanced equation? That is the question. So here option D is given as speed of a reaction. Speed of the reaction. Yes, it is not conveyed in the symbolic form. Can you say by seeing the chemical equation of a reaction, can you say whether the reaction takes place instantaneously or it takes place for long time? Okay, whether it is a fast reaction or it is a slow reaction. Can you say by seeing the chemical equation? No, it is not possible for us to say that, isn't it? So speed of the reaction you cannot say by seeing the chemical equation. So not conveyed, which information is not conveyed means what you will write? Speed of the reaction. It is not conveyed. Please check that. Okay, now let us go to the third question. The chemical equations are balanced to satisfy which of the following laws of chemical combination? Okay, chemical equations, balanced equation satisfy which law? Okay, what is the third question? Balanced equations satisfy which law? Okay, balanced equation satisfy dash law. Options are what? Laws of chemical combination. You have 4 laws are there. Okay, what are those? Can you just recall? Law of conservation of mass. Option A, law of conservation of mass. This is first law, which states what? Mass of the substances before the reaction is equal to mass of the substances after the reaction. Yes, balanced equations are following this law only. You have 3 other laws are also there. What are those? Law of definite proportion, law of definite proportions, law of multiple proportions. Okay, you have third law is also there, law of multiple proportions, which is not relevant to balanced equation. These 2 laws tells you how atoms combine to form molecules, in what ratio they combine to form a compound. Okay, and how many more compounds are formed if 2 or more elements are reacting, how many compounds are formed? That can be understood with law of multiple proportions. Okay, whereas law of definite proportions, how atoms, in what ratio atoms combine to form molecules or compounds. Okay, it can be identified with definite proportions. But balanced equation, if you are saying, means it is following which law? Yes, it is following only law of conservation of mass. Okay, so based on this only, reactants side, product side, all the atoms must be equal. Then only we call it as balanced equation, or in other words you can also call it as what? Stoichiometric equation. Okay, and D is none of the above. Okay, so answer I gave you, law of conservation of mass. Balanced equations follow which law? Law of conservation of mass. Yes, next we will go for the fourth question. Okay, fourth question is what? A chemical equation can be made more informative by expressing which of the following? Okay, fourth question. Chemical equations can be made more informative, it seems. Chemical equations can be made more informative by which of the following options? Okay, more informative by dash. Option A, physical state, by mentioning the physical state, it seems. Physical states are mentioned. For reactants, if it is a solid substance, down we are going to represent with S. If it is a liquid, we will represent with L. If it is a gas, we represent with G. Or if it is a gas liberated in product side, we will represent it with upward arrow. Okay, so physical state you are representing. So it makes the equation more informative, isn't it? And option B is also there. Heat changes, exo and endothermic. Okay, heat changes. We are representing the heat changes. Did you remember? Heat changes you can represent it by the symbol capital Q. Q is the amount of heat released during a reaction. In case of exothermic reactions, we'll write it as plus Q. After the products, if you write plus Q, it indicates that the heat energy is released. If you write plus Q in the reactants side, it indicates that heat energy is absorbed along with the reactants. So that also makes the chemical equation more informative. Heat changes. Okay, whether the equations are exo endo, we are indicating by plus Q in the reactants as well as in the products side. Okay, you have to check with it. And third option is what is given? Gas evolved and precipitate formed. Yes, for gas evolved we are using upward arrow, and for precipitate we are using what? Downward arrow. Okay, so that also makes the information, makes the chemical equation more informative. Okay, D is what? Gas evolved and precipitate formed. Gas evolved and precipitate I am writing in short as PPT. Precipitate formed. Okay, and option D, all the above. So answer is what? All the above. By using all these symbols, heat energy changes, gases evolved, upward arrow, precipitate formed is downward arrow. By seeing all those things, you can easily understand what type of chemical reaction it is, isn't it? So these all things are making the chemical equation more informative. Okay, same like that. Now let us move on to the fifth question. 2Al plus Fe2O3. Okay, one second. I'll just give you one more question. This is not the one. Yes, combustion of propane. Once look at this question. Combustion of propane. Combustion of propane. Propane means what? It's a gas. Okay, what is the formula for propane? C3H8. Combustion of propane reaction has what coefficients are there? Combustion of propane reaction has the following coefficients to make the equation balanced. Following coefficients means coefficients of reactants he is asking to make the equation balanced. Okay, please understand the question carefully here. Okay, what coefficients you need to take to make the reaction, to make the equation balanced equation? Options if you see, you will understand the question totally. 5, 1, 3, 4. Option A 5, 1, 3, 4. Option B 1, 5, 3, 4. Option B 1, 5, 3, 4. Option C 1, 3, 5, 4. Option D 1, 4, 5, 3. Means what is the question asked here? You have to write a balanced equation for combustion of propane. Okay, for that what coefficients are coming for what we call propane? What is the coefficient? For oxygen, what is the coefficient? Here combustion reaction means what? Burning. Burning means it is possible only with what? Oxygen. Okay, propane is what? C3H8. I am writing the balanced equation. Once you check, then you will understand what coefficients will come. Okay, so you have to write a balanced equation here. Propane on combustion. Combustion means what? Reaction with oxygen only. So what are the standard products you are going to get? Carbon dioxide and water. Any hydrocarbon, when it is combusted, the standard products which you are going to get are what? Carbon dioxide and water. So C3H8. Here 3 carbons are there in reactant side and product side 1 carbon only. So to make carbons equal on both sides, I am keeping 3 here, so that here also 3 carbons, here also 3 carbons. Now coming to hydrogens, in reactant side 8 hydrogens are there and in product side 2 hydrogens only are there. To make hydrogens equal on both sides, I am keeping 4 here, so that 4 2s are 8, here also 8 is there. Now coming to oxygen, in product side 3 2s are 6 plus 4. So just check this, 3 2s are 6, 3 into O2 means 3 2s are 6 oxygens here and 4 oxygens here. So total number of oxygens in product side are how many? 10 are there. So to make oxygens 10 even in the reactant side also, what number you have to keep here? You have to keep 5 here. So 5 2s are 10 oxygen. Now the equation is balanced. Now what coefficients are coming for propane? Here 1 propane, 1 mole of propane reacting with 5 moles of oxygen to give 3 moles of carbon dioxide and 4 moles of water. Okay, so what coefficients you are getting here? 1, 5, 3, 4. That is only the answer here. So you have to write the balanced equation and what coefficients are coming for this, for that particular equation which is given to you. You have to write the coefficients. Okay, so questioning will be in this way also. So you have to be very careful while balancing of equations. Okay, so same like that you have Another question is also there. Fe2O3 plus Al, same type of question. Sixth one, Fe2O3 plus Al gives rise to Al2O3 plus Fe. For this reaction also, this is what actually it is, a thermite reaction. Aluminium, best reducing agent here. This is a very nice exothermic reaction as well. Okay, here also he is asking you to find the coefficients of the balanced equation. Okay, so please check here. Okay, so here 2 irons are there, here 1 iron only is there. So to make 2 irons I am keeping the number 2 here. Here 3 oxygens are there, 3 oxygens are there. 1 aluminium is there, but here 2 aluminiums are there. So I need to keep 2 here. So now the coefficients are what? 1, 2, 1 and 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, now see, check. 2 irons, 2 irons. 3 oxygens, 3 oxygens. 2 aluminiums, 2 aluminiums. So coefficients of each substances are what? 1, 2, 1, 2. So you have to check and identify the answer like that. Okay. Other question you will be getting based on the same equation. You have another question here. Okay. So coefficients of the reactants are what? 1, 2, 1, 2. Coefficients. They are called as what? Coefficients. Okay. So same. For the same reaction, you have another question also. Okay. So in this, which substance is oxidized and which substance is reduced? You have to check with that. Okay. Here iron oxide is reduced to iron. Okay. Iron oxide is reduced to iron. Molten iron. Please understand the point carefully. Fe2O3 is reduced to Fe. Reduced to Fe. Okay. Reduced means what? Reduced means it is, this particular substance acts as what? A substance which undergoes reduction is called as oxidizing agent. Okay, so Fe2O3 is treated as what? Oxidizing agent. Okay, so in this reaction, which substance is oxidized and which substance is reduced? Like that you will get questions. Okay, so here Fe2O3 is reduced. That's why Fe2O3 acts as oxidizing agent. And same like that, aluminium is oxidized to Al2O3. Aluminium is oxidized to Al2O3. That means what? Aluminium acts as what? Reducing agent. So question you will be asked like, which substance is oxidized and which substance is reduced, or which substance is treated as oxidizing agent and reducing agent. So for the same equation you will be getting this kind of questioning also. Okay, so you please write and practice these questions. Whatever I am writing on the board, request all the children to please write and practice. That will be very much useful for you. Okay, right. Now coming to 7th question. Once look at the 7th question. BaCl2 plus Na2SO4. 7th question. BaCl2 plus Na2SO4 gives rise to BaSO4 plus NaCl. Okay, this is the equation given to you. Okay, now in this equation, it represents a dash type of reaction. This equation represents dash. Okay, first option it is given. Number 1 it is given combination reaction. Number 2, precipitation reaction. PPT reaction. Okay, number 3, here 2 is given in small letter numbers. Okay, number 3 is double decomposition reaction. It is double decomposition reaction. Okay, and here fourth statement is given as what we call mutual exchange of radicals. Like this, 4 options are given to you, and down of that actual options are given. Option A, all are correct. Okay, now option A is given as what? All are correct. Option B, all are incorrect. Okay, option B is what? All are incorrect. Option C, 1, 2, 3 are correct. Option D, 2, 3, 4 are correct. Okay, now 2, 3, 4 are correct. What is the correct answer? Which statements are correct? Yes, it is a precipitation reaction. BaSO4 forms a white colored precipitate. We have to indicate that with downward arrow. Okay, so BaSO4 is what? White precipitate. Okay, so it's a precipitation reaction. This is correct. Precipitation reaction is which type? Double decomposition reaction. This is also correct. In double decomposition, what happens? Mutual exchange of radicals happens. So this is also correct. So option D, finally, what is your correct answer? Option D is correct. Okay, so like that you please check. Okay, next we'll move on to the next question. Okay, what is the next question? The reaction takes place when quicklime is added to water. Okay, the reaction takes place. Reaction when quicklime is added to water. Okay, this is your question. Quicklime is added to water. Quicklime is added to water. What is the reaction? Okay, options are what? What are the options given to you? Displacement reaction, gas liberating reaction, heat liberating reaction, combustion reaction. Displacement. Option A is what? Displacement. Option B is gas liberating reaction. Okay. Option C is heat liberating reaction. Option D. What is option D given to you? Option D, combustion reaction. Is this combustion reaction? No, it is exothermic reaction. We have learned what is the equation for this? Calcium oxide. Quicklime is what? Calcium oxide. When reacts with water, it forms calcium hydroxide. Okay now. So what are the general observations? Did you remember, dear children? You will find a hissing sound will come, and the test tube or the container becomes a little bit hot, which shows that it is plus Q. Q represents what? The amount of heat energy that is released during that reaction. So heat liberating reaction. What you call heat liberating reactions as? Yes, heat liberating reactions are exothermic reactions. It is which type of reaction? Exothermic. Here plus Q along with the products, Q also came out. So exothermic reaction. Okay, so it's an exothermic reaction. So like that you will find questions. Okay, and next, zinc plus HCl gives rise to ZnCl2 plus H2. What type of reaction it is? Zn plus 2HCl gives rise to ZnCl2 plus H2. Upward arrow is given. So what type of reaction it is? Okay, recall the observations. What type of reaction it is? Yes, you tell me. Here substitution takes place. So it is displacement. Hydrogen is displaced from H and Cl. Separated out. So it is, answer is what? Directly I am writing the answer. Answer is displacement reaction. Okay now, displacement reaction. Now in another question, you are given the same equation, but question is asked in a different way. Okay, how can you test the gas that is evolved is hydrogen only? Okay, the gas liberated is dash colorless. The gas liberated puts off the burning splinter with pop sound. The burning splinter burns more brightly, or lime water turns milky. What is the correct option in this? Here the gas liberated is hydrogen. What is the test for hydrogen? You have to write that. You have to identify the test which is given in the 4 options. You have to identify the test which you have to make for hydrogen gas. Test for hydrogen gas is what? Burning splinter puts off with pop sound. Okay now, burning splinter puts off. Okay now, and a glowing agarbatti or a glowing matchstick if you take. Burning splinter means what? A glowing agarbatti or a glowing matchstick. Okay, it puts off with a pop sound. Okay, if it happens like that, then you can definitely say that the gas liberated is hydrogen only. Okay, pop sound. Here what I wrote, I think you cannot able to see. This is pop sound. Okay, right? So like this also you will be getting questions. Okay, next we will move on to the 10th question. Okay, we'll move on to the 10th question. Once look at this. How many moles of oxygen is required to form 4 moles of water? Okay, question number 10. How many moles of oxygen? How many moles of oxygen are required? How many moles of oxygen are required to form 4 moles of water when reacts with 4 moles of hydrogen? To form 4 moles of water, it seems. To form 4 moles of water when reacts with 4 moles of H2. When reacts with 4 moles of H2. Okay, this is your question. Okay, so you have to write the balanced. Options are given like what? A 1 mole, B 2 moles, C 3 moles, D 4 moles. A 1, B 2, C 3, 4 moles. Okay, so you write the balanced equation. How many moles of oxygen are required? So what are reacting here? Hydrogen and oxygen are reacting to give water. Okay, so what is the balanced equation for this? 2H2 plus O2 gives rise to 2H2O. This is your balanced equation. So how many moles of oxygen are required to produce 4 moles of water, it seems? Here what you got, once check, this is a balanced equation. Here no number is there means you have to take 1. Okay, from this equation, from the above equation, what you can say? From this equation. Okay, now from this equation, we can say 1 mole of oxygen, 1 mole of O2 is giving 2 moles of water. 1 mole of O2 is giving how much water? 2 moles of water. Okay, to get 4 moles of water. Okay, 1 mole is giving 2 moles. So 4 moles you want means how much you should take? 2 moles you should take. Isn't it? You need to double. Once check. You need to apply like rule of 3. From this equation, what information you got? 1 mole of O2 is giving 2 moles of water. 1 mole is giving 2 moles of water. Okay, 2 moles of water. 1 mole O2 is giving 2 moles water. 4 moles water you want. You want how much? 4 moles of water you want. Okay, 4 moles of water. Then how much oxygen you require? How many moles of oxygen you require? If you keep here x, then apply rule of 3. 4 to get this x value. 4 cross multiply and divide by third number. 4 into 1 by 2. Cross numbers you have to multiply. 4 into 1 by 2. Okay, so 4 by 2 means 2 moles you require. So answer is what? How many moles you require to get 4 moles of water? 2 moles of oxygen you require. So such kind of questions you will be getting from what? Mole concept. Okay, comparison, mole comparison questions these are. Okay, so you have to be very careful with these questions. Okay, next one more question is same like this. Once you check, 10 grams of hydrogen is burnt in presence of excess of oxygen. 10 grams of hydrogen is burnt, it seems. Question number 11. Question is 10 grams of H2 is burnt in excess of oxygen. In excess of oxygen to get water, it seems. In excess of oxygen. In excess of oxygen. Now question is, how much amount of water is formed? How much amount of H2O is formed? That is your question. Okay. Did you understand? 10 grams of hydrogen is burnt in excess of oxygen. So if you are burning hydrogen and oxygen, the substance formed is what? Water only. So you have to write a balanced equation for that. And if 10 grams of H2 is burnt, how much water will be formed? You have to find out that one. Here options are given what? 90, 45, 10, 18. 90, 45, 10 grams, 18 grams. Okay, this is your question. Let us calculate. Solution how to do? Write the balanced equation first. 2H2 plus O2 gives rise to 2H2O. This is the balanced equation. Here 2 moles of oxygen is giving 2 moles of water. Please understand me carefully. 2 moles of oxygen. 2 moles of, hydrogen. 2 moles of H2 is giving 2 moles of water. Okay, now 2 moles of water. Okay, 2 moles means how many grams? Please understand the point carefully. 2 moles means how many grams? 1 mole of hydrogen means 2 grams. 2 moles means 4 grams. Or this 2 you can have same number. 1 mole of H2 if you take, 1 mole of H2 is giving 1 mole of water. Okay, 1 mole of H2 is giving 1 mole of water. 1 mole means how many grams? 2 grams. 2 grams of H2 is giving 18 grams of water. What is the gram molecular weight of water? 18. H2O. Did you remember H2O? I'll just do it here. For water, hydrogen 2. 2 into 1 is 2. Oxygen is 16. 1 oxygen atom is there. So 2 plus 16 how much? 1 mole of water has how much gram molecular weight? 18 grams. So I am writing here 18 grams. 2 grams of H2 reacts with how much? 18 grams of water. Is giving out 18 grams of water. Now 10 grams of H2 gives how much water? That is your question. 10 grams of water gives how much water? Once again I write this here. Once you check. It is like rule of 3. You have to check. Okay now. 2 grams H2. 2 grams of H2 is giving how much? 18 grams water. 18 grams of H2O. 10 grams if you take, instead of 2 grams of hydrogen, if you take 10 grams of hydrogen, how much water will come? Keep it x here. To find out that x, cross multiply and divide by third number. 10 into 18 by 2, which is how much? 180 by 2, which is equal to what? 90 grams. So answer is what? 10 grams of hydrogen gives 90 grams of water. That is your answer. 10 grams of water gives, therefore 10 grams of H2 gives, 10 grams of H2 gives 90 grams of water. This is your answer. Okay. So like that you will be getting certain questions. Now let us move on to the 12th question. Okay. Number of molecules present in 10 grams of H2. Number of molecules it seems. 12th question is what? Number of molecules present in 10 grams of hydrogen. This is your question. Okay, number of molecules he is asking. Please check carefully. Options are given. Option A. Okay, once let us check. 6.023 into 10 power 23. Option A, Avogadro number, directly I am writing. And option B, what is given? 6.023 into 10 power 24 it seems. 10 power 24. Okay, and option C is what given? 3.01 into 10 power 24. Option C what? 3.01 into 10 power 24. Option D, 3.01 into 10 power 23. 3.01 into 10 power 23. Like this you have given 4 options. You have to find what? Number of molecules. present in 10 grams of hydrogen. You just check. 2 grams of hydrogen. H2 means how many grams? 2 grams. Gram molecular weight is 2 grams. 2 grams means 1 mole. 1 mole means how many particles will be there? 1 mole of any substance has how many particles? Avogadro number of particles. Please understand the point carefully here. Okay, 1 mole of H2 has 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23 molecules will be there. Okay, 1 mole of H2 means how many grams? 2 grams. Okay, now 2 grams of H2. Same thing I am writing in terms of grams. First statement I wrote in terms of moles. Now same thing I am writing in terms of grams. 2 grams of H2 means this number 6.023 into 10 power 23 molecules will be there. Okay, now he is asking in the question for how many grams? 10 grams of oxygen will have how many molecules? 10 grams of hydrogen, 10 grams of hydrogen will have how many molecules? That is your question. Every time apply rule of 3 only. Okay, now just you apply rule of 3. Okay, it is like 2 is to Avogadro number, 10 is to how much? 2 is to 6.023 into 10 power 23. 10 is to how much? So cross multiply. 6.023 into 10 power 23 into 10. 10 you can write it as 10 power 1 and divide by 2. This will be, let us take it as x equal to this value. So 10 power 23 into 10 power 1 will become how much? 10 power 24 it will become. 10 power 23 into 10 power 1 is 10 power 24. 6.023 as it is I wrote. By 2 as it is I wrote. Now 6.023 by 2 will be how much? 3.01. So answer what? 3.01 into 10 power 24 will be the answer. Option C will come. Okay, now 3.01 into 10 power 24 molecules will be there. In 10 grams of oxygen, in 10 grams of hydrogen, 3.01 into, therefore in 10 grams of hydrogen, 3.01 into 10 to the power of 24 molecules will be there. Okay, now in 10 grams of hydrogen, 3.01 into 10 to the power of 24 molecules will be there. Hence answer is what? C. Answer option is C here. Okay, so like that you will be getting certain questions from mole concept also. Okay, you have to be very careful with the questioning, way of questioning. Okay, next question once you see. Yeah, which of the following are exothermic processes? Question number 13. You have to identify exothermic processes. Okay, which of the following are exothermic processes? First one is given what? Evaporation of water, dilution of an acid. First option is evaporation of water, it seems. Evaporation of water. Second option is dilution of acids, means adding water to acids. Okay, dilution. While dilution you should add acid to water. Please remember, you call that as dilution. You are not supposed to add water to acid. You will be learning the same thing even in acid bases and salts also. Okay, dilution of acids. Yes, it's an exothermic reaction only. And what is the third option? What is given to you? Reaction of water with quicklime and sublimation of camphor. Reaction of CaO with quicklime, water and CaO. CaO plus H2O. And option 4 is what? Sublimation of camphor. Sublimation of camphor. So what is the correct answer in this? Yes, options are given like all are correct. Option B, all are incorrect. All incorrect. Option C, what is given to you? Option C is given as 2, 3 are correct. 2 and 3 are correct. Option D, 3, 4 are correct. 3, 4 are correct. So what is the correct answer here? Yes, these two are what? Exothermic processes only. Okay, evaporation of water, sublimation of camphor. They take some energy to convert their states. Okay, so here compulsory exothermic reactions are what? These two only. Dilution of acids, it liberates lot of heat energy, so it's exothermic. And CaO plus H2O we have learned for whitewashing of walls, that is a same reaction. Okay, so answer is what? C. 2 and 3 are what? Exothermic reactions. Okay, so let us move on to the 14th question. Okay, when carbon dioxide is passed through lime water, okay, you know that test for carbon dioxide only given. Just now I told you, when carbon dioxide is passed through lime water, what happens? Yes, milky white precipitate of CaCO3 is formed. That is only the question here. Okay, test for carbon dioxide. Please remember, recall the test. Okay, instead of writing the whole question and 4 options, let me recall. Test for carbon dioxide is what? It turns lime water milky. Means what is the reaction? Reaction. Lime water is what? Calcium hydroxide. When reacts with water. Okay. Sorry, when reacts with atmospheric carbon dioxide, it forms a milky white precipitate of what? CaCO3 plus H2O. Carbon dioxide turns lime water. This is lime water, slaked lime. Okay, please remember. Lime water or slaked lime. Carbon dioxide turns lime water to milky white substance. Okay, now milky substance. What is that milky substance? CaCO3. That is only the question asked here. Okay, and next 15th one. Okay. 15th question. In which of the following heat energy will be evolved? Okay, heat energy is evolved in which of the following? Like that question is asked. Once check. In which of the following heat is evolved? Heat is evolved in which of the following? That is the question. Options are given like this. Once check. In 15th question, electrolysis of water, dissolution of NH4Cl in water, electrolysis of water, dissolution of NH4Cl in water, dissolution of NH4Cl in water. Okay, and option C, what they gave? Burning of LPG and decomposition of AgBr. Third option is what? Burning of LPG. Burning of LPG. And fourth option is, what is fourth option which is given to you? Yes, decomposition of AgBr in sunlight. Decomposition of AgBr, silver bromide, in sunlight. So what is the option? Please tell me. Okay, here answer is heat. Lot much heat is evolved when you burn LPG gas. Okay, exothermic reactions, maybe all are exothermic. Here this is not exothermic, it is endothermic. If you are adding ammonium chloride to water, you will find the test tube to become cool. Please remember, test tube becomes cool. Okay, if the test tube becomes cool, it indicates that it is endothermic. Okay, and electrolysis of water, generally heat will be evolved only. But here when you compare these two, here this is exo only. Okay, when you compare these two, the amount of heat liberated is more in case of burning of LPG than the amount of heat released during electrolysis. Okay, more amount of heat where it is released, you choose that as a correct option. Okay, so your option is what? Burning of LPG. Do you know what is LPG gas? Liquefied petroleum gas, the gas which we use for cooking. Okay, now in cooking gas cylinders, LPG will be there. That is butane gas. Please remember, butane gas. Okay, so it is liberating lot much heat energy. So it is an example for exothermic reaction. And decomposition of AGBR takes place in presence of sunlight. As I told you in the previous video also, AGBR is yellow colored substance. When kept in sunlight, it turns to metallic grey. Okay, blackish grey. Okay, so it's a photochemical reaction. Please remember. Let's move on to the 16th question. Okay. The reaction of H2 gas with oxygen to form water is an example of dash. H2, 2H2 plus O2 gives rise to 2H2O. This is an example for dash. An example for dash. Option A. Option A is what? Combustion reaction, redox reaction, exothermic reaction, all the above. Okay, that is the option given to you. First option is what? Combustion reaction. It is an example for combustion reaction. It is an example for, second option is what given? Redox reaction. Redox. Third option is exothermic. And fourth option is all the above. Yes, all the above is the correct answer. Yes, it's a combustion reaction. Because reaction with O2 is a combustion reaction. You can say it as a combustion reaction. It's an example even for combination reaction. Two substances mingle together to form a single product. It's an example for redox reaction, which is oxidized and which is reduced here. Hydrogen is oxidized to water. Please understand the point carefully. Hydrogen is oxidized to water. Substance which undergoes oxidation is called what? Reducing agent. Here hydrogen acts as reducing agent and oxygen acts as oxidizing agent. So it's a redox reaction only. And it's an exothermic reaction as well. You have to remember that. So all the above is the correct answer. Okay. Now let us move on to the 17th question. Okay, question number 17. Yes, what is the 17th question which is given to you, dear children? Once check. Which of the following is not interpreted from the balanced equation? Yes, this I told you already, it is repeated. Balanced equation gives information about what? Yes, reactants, number of atoms and molecules that are present in the reactants and products. It gives information about physical states of reactants and products. It also gives information about the amount of gases that are released and precipitates formed based on the symbols you can identify. Okay, and it does not give interpretation. First question only. During first or second question only, this question has been repeated once again. Okay, it does not give information about what? Yes, speed of the reaction or rate of the reaction or the time of completion of reaction. Okay, chemical reactions does not give information about rates of reactions. Please remember that point. Means within how much time the reaction takes place. No one can say by seeing the equation, isn't it? So that is the question which is repeated. So I am not writing it once again. Okay. Yes, and also it is given about zinc and HCl. Okay, zinc and HCl, hydrogen gas is liberated, we have learnt. Yes, among the following, the combination reaction is. Okay, once look at this question. Combination reaction among the following. Okay, now combination reaction among the following. You have to identify combination reaction among the following. So what are the options given to you? 2H2 plus O2 gives rise to 2H2O. 2H2 plus O2 gives rise to 2H2O. Option B, 2HGO gives rise to 2Hg plus O2. HGO means what? Mercuric oxide. 2Hg plus O2. Option C, what is given? Zn plus CuSO4 gives rise to. Zn plus CuSO4 gives rise to ZnSO4 plus Cu. And option D, what is given to you? AgNO3 plus NaCl. AgNO3 plus NaCl gives rise to AgCl plus NaNO3. Okay, so in this, what is the combination reaction? The very first one. Two substances mixed to form single product. So this is combination reaction. 2HGO splitting into Hg and oxygen. This will become decomposition reaction. And this is displacement reaction. Highly reactive metal displaces less reactive metal from their salt solutions. So third option is what? Displacement reaction. And AgNO3 plus NaCl gives rise to AgCl plus NaNO3. This is, here you will find the white precipitate of AgCl is formed. The insoluble solid substance which settles down at the bottom of the test tube. You call it as what? Precipitate. It's an example for precipitation reaction, which comes under what? Double decomposition reaction. So your correct answer is A. Okay. Next 18th question, once you look at this question. Question number 18. Okay. Among the following, the correct order of reactivity of metals. Among the following, the correct order of reactivity of metals. The correct order of reactivity of metals. Okay, what is the correct order of reactivity of metals? Okay, what are the options given to you? Na less than Mg. Okay, option A, what is given to you? Option A, Na less than Mg. Na means what? Sodium. Mg means magnesium. Option B, Hg less than Ag. Hg less than Ag. And option C, what is given to you? Fe greater than Al, Ca greater than Mg. Fe greater than Al. Option D, Ca greater than Mg. For this, what you have to check? You have to check with the reactivity series. Once recall reactivity series. K, Na, Mg, Al, Zn, Fe, Pb, Sn, then H will come. Then you have copper, Fu, Ag, Au, Hg, Pt. This is the reactivity series which you have to by heart. It is like keeping certain mnemonics. You can remember this reactivity series. We generally keep a mnemonic in Telugu. Kana, I forgot to write calcium here. Calcium. Kanaka. Once again I write. Kanaka Mahalakshmi. Like that you can write. Kanaka Mahalakshmi. Alludu. Jafar. Somebody with some name Jafar. Kanaka. M. Mahalakshmi. Alludu. Al is for Alludu. Jafa means some name, his name. Okay. Pelliki. P sound is there. PB. Plumbum. Pelliki. Scent eskoni Hyderabad వచ్చాడు. Okay, in Telugu you have the mnemonic. Kanaka Mahalakshmi Alludu Jafar పెళ్ళికి సెంట్ వేసుకొని హైదరాబాద్ వచ్చాడు. Then for this you have to make your own thing. Costly metals like Ag, Au, Hg, Pt. కట్నం. పెళ్ళికి ఏం తీసుకున్నాడు? కట్నం తీసుకుంటారు. Okay, కట్నం Ag, Au, Hg, Pt he has taken as dowry. Something you can remember like that. Okay, మెయిన్గా మీరు గుర్తుంచుకోవాల్సినవి ఈ సిరీస్. కానాక మహాలక్ష్మి అల్లుడు జాఫా పెళ్ళికి సెంట్ వేసుకుని హైదరాబాద్ వచ్చాడు. ఇక్కడ వరకు కంప్లీట్గా గుర్తుంచుకుంటే మీరు ఏది ఇచ్చినా మధ్య మధ్యలో ఏది ఇచ్చినా కూడా రాయగలుగుతారు. ఓకే, సో జస్ట్ చెక్ హియర్ Na is greater than Mg. So this is ruled out. So correct answer once check in all those things. Answer is Ca. Okay now. Ca. Hg and Ag. Hg is less than Ag only. Okay. Right. Ca greater than Mg. Ca is greater than Mg only. So you have to check like that. That means you have to remember this reactivity series. Okay, now you have to by heart that reactivity series. Then only you can identify whether displacement happens or not. Okay. Now 19th question. Okay. So once check this 19th question. I have written some questions here. Yes. Okay. 2 PbNO3 taken twice. Lead nitrate. This is what? Lead nitrate. On heating gives rise to 2 PbO plus 4 NO2 plus O2. 2 PbO plus 4 NO2 plus O2. Okay. So this is on heating. And you know single substance is splitting into 2 or more substances here. Okay. Here options are given like this. Okay. NO2 is colorless, O2 is colored. Option A. O2 is colored. Option B. NO2 is reddish brown. Reddish brown. O2 is colorless. O2 is colorless. Okay. Option C. NO2 is colorless. NO2 is colorless. O2 is reddish brown. Okay. O2 is reddish brown. Option D. Both are colorless. Both are colorless. So what is the option? Yes, you have to remember that NO2 is a reddish brown colored gas which is released by the chemical decomposition reaction of lead nitrate. Thermal decomposition of lead nitrate gives you nitrogen dioxide colored full gas, reddish brown colored gas, that is. So you have to remember that point. Okay, it's a very important question which you will be coming across many times. Okay, so that is question number 19. Now let us move on to the last question, question number 20. Okay, question number 20. You have yes, 2 Ki plus Cl2 gives rise to 2 KCl plus I2. It's an example for dash. 20. 2 Ki potassium iodide. This is 2 Ki plus Cl2. Cl2 gives rise to 2 KCl plus I2. 2 KCl plus I2. This is an example of dash. Combination, decomposition, displacement, double decomposition. Okay, combination, decomposition, displacement and double decomposition. You can easily identify displacement and double decomposition. Double decomposition. Okay, so answer is what? Displacement reaction. Here chlorine is a non-metal, but still it is a highly reactive non-metal. He is displacing less reactive non-metal here. I told you only metal reactivity series. This is metal reactivity series. Please remember. It is there on the board only. Metal reactivity series. Okay, displacement happens mostly in metal reactivity series. Please remember this metal reactivity series. Okay, Kanaka Mahalakshmi, Alludu, Jaffa, Pelliki, Senteskuni, Hyderabad Ochadu. All this are metals except hydrogen. Hydrogen is kept in metal reactivity series. Okay, because it forms cations like metals. Okay, ఇక్కడ చూడండి ఇది కూడా displacement reaction. But here you are not finding chlorine. Chlorine is not a metal. Chlorine is a non-metal. Okay, ఇక్కడ కూడా same principle apply చేయొచ్చు. 2 Ki plus Cl2 gives rise to 2 KCl plus I2. Okay, chlorine is what? Highly reactive non-metal. Okay, highly reactive non-metal. Okay, is displacing less reactive non-metal from its salt solution. Less reactive non-metal. Iodine is what? Less reactive non-metal. Okay, to form, it is displacing. So non-metal reactivity series you just recall. Non-metal reactivity series. Okay, non-metal reactivity series. First highly reactive non-metal is phosphorus, please remember. Then comes sulfur. Then comes halogens, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. Okay, now phosphorus, sulfur, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. Oxygen of course is a non-metal only. It is also highly reactive only. Okay, but oxygen reactions we all know. Phosphorus highly reactive non-metal. Potassium highly reactive metal. Please remember that point. Okay, now phosphorus, potassium. Children mostly gets confused with that. So please write it like a note point. I am rubbing this question and writing here. Please remember highly reactive non-metal is what? Potassium and sodium. Highly reactive, sorry, note. Write it like a note point. Highly reactive metals are what? Highly reactive metals are potassium and sodium. K means what? Potassium. Na means sodium. Similarly, highly reactive non-metal is what? Highly reactive non-metal. Highly reactive non-metal is phosphorus. Okay now? Phosphorus. Please remember these 2 points. This is an example for metal reactivity series and this is an example for non-metal reactivity series. Okay now? See, I wrote here. Non-metal reactivity series. Okay? So please remember that point. Okay, so like that topmost 20 questions I discussed, okay, in this video from the lesson chemical reactions and equations. Okay, I hope all of you have understood and I hope that you people will find this video very interesting, at the same time very useful also. Okay, so I request all the children to please make notes of what all your teacher says. Write a short notes, write and practice. I always say your hard work is your superpower. Okay, so happy learning. Thanks for watching. Bye.